have liked it. From this, we understand a lot of the time, unfortunately, when somebody is engaged in ghiba and another brother tries to advise him, which is very difficult nowadays, and we tell the brother, try and avoid doing ghiba, you shouldn't be backbiting. He says, and he pulls out his muscles and he says, well, if he was here in front of me, I would have said the same thing to his face. If he was here in front of me, I would have said the same thing to his face. Regardless of if you could say it to his face or not, that's irrelevant. The fact that he's not there and you're talking behind his back means it's ghiba. This is what the Prophet ﷺ is saying. ذِكْرُكَ أَخَاكَ بِمَا يَكْرَهُ. So point number one, whether you can say it to his face or not is irrelevant. The fact that you're talking about him, it makes it ghiba. Number two is something, another point which is very relevant to all of us nowadays. Moving on with the same hadith, the Sahaba asked, okay, we're talking about someone, we're saying bad stuff about him, but what if it's true? What if it's true? And a lot of the time when we're doing ghiba, when somebody's doing ghiba in a gathering, you tell the person, brother, if you can refrain from doing ghiba, from backbiting. He said, well, it's what I'm saying is true anyway. Well, this is the same question that the Sahaba asked, and the Prophet ﷺ is saying, if it is true, then it is ghiba. If it is not true, then it's worse than ghiba. This is buhtan, this is false accusation. If it is true, then by definition it is ghiba. If it's not true, then it's even worse than ghiba. So point number one, whether you can say to the brother sister's face or not is irrelevant, it's ghiba. Number two, whether it's true or not is also irrelevant. Point number three, another interesting hadith narrated to us by our mother Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, is that ghiba not only happens with the tongue, although we're talking about the tongue today. Just on a side note, ghiba not only happens with the tongue, ghiba can also happen with the eyes or with the hands, meaning what we say ishara, or gesturing towards someone. So I'll mention the hadith, inshallah, things will become more clear. Narrated by Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she says, قالت فقلت يا رسول الله إن صفية امرأة وقالت بيدها هكذا كأنها قصيرة. So Aisha radiallahu ta'ala was talking with the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and Aisha, she said with her hands, she made a motion, a gesture, that Safiya, another one of the wives of the Prophet ﷺ, is like this, short. So the Prophet ﷺ said, لقد مزجت بكلمة لو مزجت بها ماء البحر لمزج, which basically means you've said something or you've done something. Over here we'll say you said something, but you understand we're talking metaphorically. You've done something, you've made an action. If this action was to be thrown into the oceans, the entire ocean would become bad, it would become foul smelling. You've said this one kalima, you've said this one action, you just made this action that Safiya is small. And perhaps if Safiya was there, she wouldn't have liked it. This one thing, this one action that you've done, if I was to take this one action and put it into the ocean, the entire ocean would become smelly, would become bad. So we understand that ghiba is not only done with the tongue, it can be done with the eyes, or it can be done through mimicking someone. So there's a certain way somebody talks, you talk like them to make other people laugh. Or there's a certain way somebody walks, you walk like them in order to mock him. This is also counted as ghiba. So again, for the benefit of the brothers who weren't here before, today's topic is taking care of the tongue. We mentioned some general points about taking care of the tongue. We mentioned 5 points, and then after this, there's 2 specific points I want to mention, inshallah, 2 specific sins. Number 1 is ghiba. Ghiba is mentioning your brother or your sister in a way, had they been present, they wouldn't have liked it. Number 1, whether you can say it to their face or not is irrelevant. Number 2, if it's true, it's ghiba. If it's not true, then it's buhtan. It's false accusation, which is even worse. Number 3, ghiba doesn't necessarily need to be with the tongue. It can be through actions, it can be through your eyes, through your hands, through mimicking someone. So this is ghiba. And unfortunately, this is one of the sins which we see very rampant in society. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likens ghiba to eating the dead flesh of your brother. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن إن بعض الظن إثم ولا تجسسوا. Allah then says ولا يغتب بعضكم بعضا. Don't engage, don't backbite about each other. أيحب أحدكم أن يأكل لحم أخيه ميتا فكرهتموه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, would you like to eat the flesh of your dead brother? No, you wouldn't. You find this disgusting. So in the same way, you should find ghiba and backbiting disgusting. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make backbiting and make ghiba disgusting to all of us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the ability to stay away from this. Number one. Sin number two is lying. Sin number two is lying. We all know what lying means. We don't need some fancy dictionary definition. Lying is something is not a reality and you're telling somebody a lie. Why do people lie? Sometimes people lie for fun. Sometimes people lie to deceive. Sometimes people lie to deceive someone in order to take money out of them. They lie to someone in order to emotionally play with them. They're all very limited situations where somebody can lie. Perhaps another time we can talk about that. But generally, lying is not allowed in Islam. And Allah's Messenger ﷺ says, إِنَّ الصِّدْقَ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْبِرِّ. We all know that the opposite of lying is telling the truth. إِنَّ الصِّدْقَ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْبِرِّ وَإِنَّ الْبِرَّ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ. If a person is truthful, it leads him to good actions. If a person is truthful, it leads him to good actions. And good actions lead to Jannah. وَإِنَّ الرَّجُلَ لَيَصْدُقُ حَتَّى يَكُونَ صِدِّيقًا. And a person has a habit of being truthful, saying the truth, until he is classified as a Siddiq, a truthful person in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On the other hand, on the flip side, وَإِنَّ الْكَذِبَ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْفُجُورِ. Lying leads to bad deeds. Lying leads to bad deeds. So if a person has a habit of lying, if a person lies, it leads to bad deeds, other bad deeds. Perhaps we may think is not connected, but it is connected because the Messenger of Allah ﷺ is saying, إِنَّ الْكِذْبَ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْفُجُورِ وَإِنَّ الْفُجُورَ يَهْدِي إِلَى النَّارِ. What is the consequences of bad deeds? Jahannam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us all. وَإِنَّ الرَّجُلَ لَا يَكْذِبُ حَتَّى يُكْتَبَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ كَذَّابًا. And an individual has a habit of lying until on the day of judgment, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will resurrect him, he will be called a kadhab, a liar. He will be called a kadhab, a liar, and he will be judged as a liar. He will be punished for his lying. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us all. Inshallah, I want to wrap up very quickly. Before I wrap up, another hadith. Allah's Messenger ﷺ says, "Min husni Islam al-mar'i tarkuhu ma la ya'ni." Again, something, inshallah, if we can practice upon this one small phrase of the Messenger of Allah ﷺ, we will see society will become much better. Allah's Messenger ﷺ says, it is from the perfection of a person's iman, from the perfection of a person's Islam. Min husni Islam al-mar'i tarkuhu ma la ya'ni. If something does not concern him, he shouldn't get involved. If something does not concern him, he shouldn't get involved. Unfortunately, a lot of the time, we have a habit of getting involved into things or asking about things which are not related to us. So we see somebody, we don't know them too well, he's got a new car, and we think, oh, that person works a normal job like me, how did he manage to get so much money to buy a car? And he starts chit-chatting. It doesn't concern him where he got his, it doesn't concern you where he got his money from. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed him, so barakallah to him. Again, this is something which ties into the topic of the time. So inshallah, last 2 or 3 minutes I have a short announcement to make. Before that, very quickly, for the brothers who came late, a brief summary of the talk. We talked about the importance which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Islam has attached to taking care of the tongue. Initially, we mentioned 5 points which highlight to us generally how Islam attaches importance to taking care of our tongue. 2 major sins which are committed with the tongue. Number 1 is ghiba. Ghiba is to mention your brother in a way, had he been present, he wouldn't like it. Be the truth. If it's the truth, it's ghiba. If it's not the truth, it's worth no ghiba. Number 2, doesn't necessarily need to be with the tongue. It can be through actions as well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us all. And number 2 is lying. Lying is also abhorrent and something which is despised by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This brings me to the end of my topic. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He gives us all the ability to practice upon what has been said, understand what importance Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has attached to the tongue, and gives us all the ability to control our tongues. Ameen. Inshallah, after the Jum'ah Salah today, we have a collection by the charity One Nation. It's been operating for approximately 6 years, and they're working in approximately 23 countries. We also have they have their office on Hartington Road. They operate on a 100% donation policy. Is there anybody who hasn't heard of One Nation here? Put your hands up. Am I allowed to ask questions? I went to one masjid and I was giving a talk, and I asked a question, never got a response from anyone. So afterwards the Imam came to me and said, Moulana, don't try it in this masjid. So I'm a bit wary now if I try to ask questions or not. Have you heard of One Nation before? If you haven't heard of One Nation, put your hands up. That means everyone's heard of One Nation. Jazakallah. It makes my life a lot easier. They must have had connection. They must have had connection here before. So they have general normal projects, water projects, open projects. They work on 100% donation policy. They're also currently connecting for Kashmir. We know what's happening in Kashmir. Number one, the earthquake which happened on one side, and then the political crisis on the other side. So my humble request from all the brothers is that if you can donate right now, and the brothers are outside, donate today, inshallah. If you don't have money with you to donate today, then inshallah, please make an effort in the coming days to donate towards these charitable causes. Amin. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروا إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. Okay, for Jumu'ah Salah, inshallah, if we can move forward and fill the rooms first, therefore the Jama'at cannot be left empty for the brothers who are coming. Jazakallah.